Okay, good morning. It's 31 August. Only 4 days since my last ride, so that's pretty rare for me. I'm down south of Palmer Rapids, about an hour from my place, and we're at the place we call the Massanoga. And head up west on the hydro line here a little bit, and then swing up north by Effingham Lake and all through there, and then I'm going to eventually cross over to the east side of Highway 41 and do all the lakes and stuff in that way. And should be about 70 or 80 kilometers today. Perfect weather. Right now it's about 10 or 12 degrees, and there's a high of 20. So it's lots of rain yesterday. Everything's nice and damp. So let's hit the trail. Now this is an area that I ride a lot less than I used to. This was our main spot before I moved up to Palmer Rapids, when I used to live down by Kingston. This is where we'd stop all the time, but I mean, these are great trails here. I just don't come here as much because I'm just closer to the other trails. That's all. I got stuck in that hole late last fall. That little hole right there. Yeah, it really rained hard yesterday, so everything's really nice and sloppy and wet. That's perfect. In this hole. It's probably the biggest thing I notice about this new Grizzly is the extra ground clearance, you know, because of the 27-inch tires. I mean, that 1 inch makes a big difference in your ground clearance. You can really notice it. Okay, we're into the woods here now, and we're going to hook on to the trail up here in about a kilometer. That is kind of the main trail. But I'm going to be swinging back east and then head north. I haven't been, like when John and I were here, that was just before the big storm hit. Now this was kind of, I think this area was kind of on the fringe of that storm. But there was like 10 people killed, and it was like a series of tornadoes in this whole region. And I've seen other guys' videos, and man, I mean, it just looks like a war zone on a lot of these trails. But this area, like my area where I am up north, about an hour north of here, we didn't get, you know, we had wind and that, but we didn't have the tornadoes, at least in where I ride and where I live in that. But this area here, a bit more south to where I am, it was on the fringe of it. So we're going to go down here to Stall Lake, it's called. It's basically a logging road. And then we're going to head east and then swing north. Wow. Like those little microbursts, a whole series of those microbursts went through. It was back in, it was kind of like middle of May. And like ground zero for it was just kind of north of Peterborough. Truro, Ontario. Which is about an hour and a half south of where I am right now. Man, that little marsh there is all dried up. So many trails. I mean, you know, you can just come out here and drive down all these side trails all day long, and you know, that's how you find out all these new places. And I should be doing that more. And there's some red leaves already. It gets cold overnight here. It's into the kind of the low single digits overnight. It gets down to 4s, 5s, and 6s Celsius overnight. This is a nice spot here. I've never seen this swamp dried out like that. First time ever. There's always been water in it. I mean, there's still, it's not dried right out, but I mean, it's, you know, you can't even see the water on it right now. Like, this is usually all water going through here. Just in case. Man. Wow. Never seen that dried up like that. Here, just continue on, still going north. Eventually going to swing east again and then south, and then come out down by the Moosehorn restaurant, which is just alongside of Highway 41. And then I'm going to cross Highway 41 onto the east side, and you know, go up through all those trails over there. That's the plan. Subject to change, as usual. This trail, like this is a main hub, like a main track in the of the whole trail system up here. You know, for ATVs and snowmobiles in the winter. I went to a hunt camp. Little Birch Hunt Camp. week I'm going to be taking my neighbor out. He's I'm not sure what he's got. I think it's some kind of little, I think it's a Honda 400 or something. He's had it for years, like I think it's a 2003, and he says he's got 100 kilometers on it. He barely uses it. It just sits there and sits there. He used it for a little bit of plowing, but he wants to, I mean, they just moved up here recently. He was down south before, and he just used it for a bit of plowing. But now he wants to get into riding on the trails. So next week I'm going to take him out. We'll just do some mild trails. Never gets used to it. And I don't think he's ever done an oil change on it, or if he has, been a long time. But like I said, I think he said it's about a 2003 Honda 400 or something with 100 kilometers on it. So it hasn't been used, but I mean that's not good. It's been sitting there all those years. I mean, seals are going to be dried up, so I want him to get out on it and you know, take it for some test rides on just on the dirt back roads. You know, make sure it doesn't blow up or something, overheat, do an oil change, you know, all that kind of stuff before we go out. Well, we'll see. Boy, the summer went by quick, you know, like it always does. I mean, it's the 31st of August already. And you know, it's the same thing every year. You have all these things planned that you want to do, and then you hardly end up doing any of them, at least I do anyway. And then all of a sudden the summer's over. And you know, I'm retired, so you know, I can do anything anytime I want, but I still don't do the things, everything that I want to do, right? But I still do a lot of stuff. I do lots of ATV, like lots of ATV for me. Like I'll try and get out at least once a week from now until the end of October. And sometimes twice a week. I mean, there's no bugs right now. After Labor Day weekend, which is this weekend, I mean, the tourists will be greatly reduced. I mean, I ride through the week, I hardly see anybody anyway, so, but it'll be even less starting next week. And, you know, the temperatures are perfect, so everything's lining up for a great fall. I just hope the weather cooperates. I got in 2 good bike rides this year. I got about 9,000 kilometers now on my KLR, which is my you know, my Kawasaki adventure bike. And you know, I'm still going to put a couple thousand more on it. So this season, you know, I'll be about you know, at least 10,000, somewhere between 10 and 11,000 kilometers I'll get on it. That's good. That's a good season. I might even do a 2 or 3 day trip kind of mid-September if we get some really nice weather. But something that really sucks right now is the damn prices of hotels. I mean, I was looking at it last night, and even crappy little hotels that I used to stay in, I mean, not crappy, but I mean, just little kind of single mom and pop type places that I would stay in before, you know, they've gone from 80, 90 bucks a night to like 150. And I mean, it's just ridiculous just to pay that much for a bed to sleep in for a night. So, and that's a real turn on. I hate getting price gouged like that. So I just do a lot more maybe one-night trips or just day trips where I don't, you know, just right from the house and do 500 kilometers in a day. I mean, I'd like to do multi-day trips, but you know, if you're out for 3 nights, 4-day, 3-night trip, you know, you're got a $500 hotel bill. that's kind of ridiculous. Especially, you know, I'm not staying at like Wyndham resorts and things. I'm staying at, you know, kind of private, no-name motels in small little towns. Anyway. Okay, this is why I bring the axe. That tree must have just come down in the last day or so, because there would have been people through here, and there's no, you can tell nobody's been by it yet. So a bit of chopping, but I'll be able to get through that. I don't have to clear much, just some of the branches. I mean, it's almost, I could probably drive around it, most of the branches there, but I'll cut them. Okay, good enough. Made a trail. Took about 5 minutes. Wearing my bike gloves today, my motorcycle gloves, with the hard knuckles and everything on them. Swung down around, and now we're heading back down south towards the Moosehorn restaurant. I'm not sure if that place is even open. It's been off and on for years. I mean, it used to be open. A lot of times I'd stopped at it often, but I'm talking 15 years ago, and yeah, for the last 10, 12, 15 years it's been, you know, sometimes there's no way I'm chopping through that. Oh. This must have just happened in the last day or two, because I mean, it looks like guys have driven up through here to get around it, but I'm not going to do that. That means I have to go all the way back, right back to my truck. Okay, well, I can't get through that. Oh well, happens. Yeah, this must have just happened in the last, probably in the last 24 hours, because you know, it's still summer and there's people right up here every day, but there's no way I'm getting around that, and I'm not chopping through it. And then there's another one right there ahead of me. Okay, turn around. Okay, this is what's nice, is these small ponds and marshes that are you know, deep in the woods. So, new plan. I was after that tree was down, I just came back a short distance, and I forgot about this trail, which runs north up to a place called Ferguson's Corners. So I'm heading up there, and then I'm going to go just a bit north of that. There's the nicest lake that I've ever been to. It's called Greg Lake. It's just a small little lake, but if I can make it into that, you'll see what I mean when I say it's the nicest lake that I've been to. And I've been to a lot of nice lakes, but I think Greg Lake is at the top of the list. So that's the new destination. So this trail here runs straight north. And like I said, it goes up to a place called Ferguson's Corners. And it junctions with a road called Trout Lake Road. So I'm on that for a little bit, and then I head north, but not too far, and then into Greg Lake. So that's the new plan. I haven't been on this trail for well, definitely not with this new Grizzly. It's probably been maybe 3 years since it was on this track. Maybe more, 3 or 4 years. Okay, so I failed getting into Greg Lake. I did something that I rarely do. I took a wrong turn up there, and by the time I realized it, I'd gone way past. I was going in the wrong direction, so I just said, "To hell with it." So I turned back down. So I'm heading back down towards my truck now, but I'm going to keep going. I had to basically backtrack all the way, and then all of a sudden it got really black, and a big little downpour happened for about 10 minutes. So I pulled into this little spot here that I've never been before. I saw this trail, and I'm going to go driving around here because it looks really cool. And this trail over here goes off, and it looks like it goes down to a shore by a lake. And so I'm just going to go in there and find out where that goes, and it goes in there a ways. So it looks pretty cool, so that's the plan. Yeah, I don't know how I missed a turn at going towards Greg Lake there, and I haven't done something like that for a long time, but happens. But yeah, pretty good little shower came down. Just came here and stood under that tree for about 10 or 15 minutes. Stayed fairly dry. We'll go up here and turn around. I have no idea why. There's quite a little, I mean, it's a small little area here, but there's quite a network of tracks in here. And I think the track that I'm going to take here goes over, and it goes down by a lake by the looks of it. I walked in there, I've been walking around. It's pretty cool. Which way? This way. You can see the lake over here. Now the sun's out. It was pouring rain 10 minutes ago, and I'm sure you can't see it, but it's like really black right there, and that's the stuff that came through. But it's all breaking up here, heading my way. It was supposed to be a bit of a rain this time of day, so I can see the lake. I'll have to look on my GPS, see what the name of that lake is. But this looks like it's probably going down to some kind of a campground. There's even people down here. Who knows? Oh yeah. Well, it is all right. Campground. Really nice, actually. I'll have to look this name up. I'll just look up. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see the name of that lake on my GPS. Anyway, I'll look it up later. Good spot though. So basically I'm going to head back to my truck, and then I'll go over to the east side of Highway 41. I'll go to Feeney Lake also before I go over there, and that's really nice. Probably people camped up in there. Starting next week, there won't be anybody around, but you know, this is the last week of summer. Spot. How did I get in here? I can't remember how I got in here. Okay, there's the main trail there. Massanoga Lake, that's the name of that lake. Massanoga. Okay, we're gonna excuse me. Okay, we're gonna go up in Feeney Lake now. I wouldn't be surprised to find people up in there. It is the last week of summer. The last hurrah. This is a nice track and a beautiful lake. Been up here lots of times. A lot of trees down, man. Wow. But it's not nearly this bad up where I normally ride, up like Massanoga. I don't want to jump that. Surprised nobody's cut that one. Okay, let me get around that. You know, that's one of those ones I could go over, but you know, you're gonna bang your skid plate pretty good. I don't know, almost like a semi-jump. Any fresh tracks here, so that's good. Bit of a rock garden here. Okay, so this is Feeney Lake. There's a little campsite dead ahead of me. I'm going to go check that out first. There is people camped. This is where they'd probably be, over here. No, I don't see anybody. Looking good. And then we're going to go up along the shoreline over there. Beautiful lake here. Yeah, nobody hurt. In fact, it doesn't look like there's been anybody here at all this summer. Any fresh garbage. I'm gonna start bringing my drone. Well, somebody's rebuilt that little bridge down there. take a little break here and then we'll continue on up the shore on the other side. I'll just take a walk around here first. Take this jacket off again. Whew. I think the rain's finished. It's supposed to rain again later on this afternoon, but it should be all finished by then. Got my color-coded jersey on today. I'll break my neck on this bridge here. Rocks are slippery too. All covered in moss and slime. How sturdy is this thing? That's okay. I've never walked over here actually. Good spot. It looks like somebody's got a bear hunt stand down there. Whenever you see barrels like that, that's usually guys that have left out barrels and they bait the bears like that. Like these things here. We're lucky, we got such nice places to come to. And it's beautiful here. Peaceful and quiet, remote. I mean, you know, like I say, you get some people camping here in the summer, but other than that, you know, there's nobody comes here except me. Okay, now I gotta go back across that bridge, and I gotta go backwards on it too. Good thing they have that pole there. Steady yourself. Like, it's slippery, it's all slimy, yeah? Okay, so we're going to drive up the other shore of Feeney Lake now. And there's another campsite up there that's really nice. It's higher up, it's more elevation. That's where I almost let my Grizzly roll into the lake over a cliff there. I'll explain that little story to you. That happened a couple, 4 or 5 years ago. It's lucky I was lucky my 2016 Grizzly isn't at the bottom of this lake. Oh shit, there's a great big tree down. Yeah. Yeah. Well, can't get around that. Well, I'll check out this trail here, and if it's doable, I'll do it. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that's okay. Should be able to do that, no problem. Surprised you guys aren't out here with the chainsaws more. That'll be nice. Whew. Okay. So I'll explain that little story about my Grizzly almost rolling down into this lake. John and I were out here 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was the first fall that I had my 2016 Grizzly, the green one. And I forget where we were parked. I think might have come around, and I think we were parked right here or something, and we walked down there, and the Grizzlies don't have a parking brake on them, and the old ones didn't even, I don't even think it had a, I can't remember, well maybe, yeah, it had a park on it. No, it was actually my 2014 Grizzly, my SE, my black one. That's the Grizzly it was. So my first Grizzly. Anyway, didn't have a park brake on it. But I just had a little like a stiff rubber band that I put on the brake. I had it in neutral, so it was leaning here like this, and this slope's pretty good. And John and I were down there talking, and he just happened to hear something. And he looked around and he sees my Grizzly going right down these rocks, and I managed to stop it, or it would have went right into the lake there. So that's that little story. This is a beautiful lake, man. Whole family of loons up there. You can't see them on the GoPro. Really nice. Okay, I'm to the west of Baudette Lake, and I'm heading north there's a nice water crossing up here. I want to see if I can get through it. And somewhere around here there's a little like 1930s Chev or something in the bush. I don't know where it is, but somebody told me there's an old car carcass in here. massive tree down up here. Wow. Holy cow, I can't believe it. Look at this stuff. Look at that. Oh, unbelievable. Look. All through there. All this stuff here. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go and see if we can get through this little crossing here. Should be no problem. Like usually I'm already in water right here, but I mean, oh, what the hell was that? Must have flipped the stick up. Okay, we're coming up to Bodette Lake. I mean, it's just literally everywhere that you look, there's just like unbelievable. Oh man, can I even get into the Bodette Lake? Like, I can't even get into Bodette Lake. I mean, look at it. Like, that's normally where I go, right there. I can't even get in there. Holy cow. Unreal, man. Look at this. It's like a tornado. It's a tornado. What else would do that? I guess anything, exposed. I mean, so the wind's coming in this way and just ripped all these trees out. This is Bodette Lake. Bodette. Well, that's the end of this little camping spot. Wow. Never seen anything like this. It amazes me, why do some trees get ripped out, and like why aren't all these trees, they're all exposed to exactly the same wind. They got bigger ones than these ones that are more roots and bigger. I guess they got more area exposed to the wind. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap for this ride. I didn't make it over to the east side at all of Highway 41. We'll save that for another time. And I'll make it into Great Lake another time too. Next ride, will be next week. Probably up in the Massanoga area, and it'll be with my neighbor who's just getting into riding. Might be a bit of a tame ride, but will still be good. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and whatever you're doing, stay safe and have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.